racing is America's fastest-growing sport. You are now occupying a box seat for harness racing's greatest classic, the Hambletonian Stake for 3-year-old trotters. It's August the 12th, 1953, and the 27th renewal of the Hambletonian here at Kite-shaped Good Time Park in Goshen, New York, has attracted a record field of 23 trotters racing for a record purse of $117,000. A crowd of upwards of 25,000 has come from all points of the North American compass to watch these razor-sharp trotters own the biggest day of their lives. For the horses, it's a soldier's D-Day and V-Day, all wrapped into one. It's a big day, too, for old Bill Cave, the man who brought the Hambletonian to Goshen. It's a day you can wander around in back of the grandstand, or place a bet if you like. Or if you don't want to wander or wager, you can rest under the shade of an ancient oak tree until race time. There's no rest, though, for busy grooms, spreading drivers, and high-strung horses. They've all got a big day before them, and while for most of them it'll be a payless payday, there's a pot of gold waiting at the end of somebody's rainbow. And now it's time for the Hambletonian. All the years and days and hours of waiting are history now. This is what these Grand Circuit horses have been pointed for, what they have been bred to do. The one that wins 2 heats takes the money. The race could require 3 or 4 heats before a decision is reached. The marshals lead the horses out, and now they're on the track. Leading the parade is the 6-5 favorite, Newport Star, winner of 6 out of 9 this year. In order behind him come the following horses and drivers. Newport Mascot with Dana Cameron, Newport Champ with Stanley Dancer, Helicopter with Harry Harvey, Singing Sword with Dale Miller, Sir Lowwater with Jimmy Arthur, Victory's First with Curly Smart, Abbott Song with Carol Larson, Simpson Hanover with Johnny Simpson, Kimberly Kidd with Tom Murray, Peter Lynn with Harry Panal, Horse Hanover with Jimmy Wingfield, Bewitch with Henry Myatt, Allure with Fred Egan, L.B. Hanover with Frank Irvin, King Nibble with Harry Whitney, Ariel Gunner with Harry Short, Selby Hanover with Sven Tweedy, Famous Hanover with Dick Weber, Fightin' Frisco with Alan Meyer, Ben Gazy with Dick Williams, and Express Colby with Dee Stover. The Newport Stock Farm and the Del Miller Stable each have 3 in the race. Castleton Farm and the Allwood Stable each have 2. Man, how do you pick a winner in this field? As the trotters go through their final warm-ups, drivers check their equipment, horses gait, and the 1,001 other little things that can mean the difference between victory and defeat. The Newport entry, owned by Grand Circuit President Octave Blake, is still 6-5. While Bewitch is 5-1, the Castleton entry 6-1, and the Allwood entry 8-1. The crowd presses in along the rail, and a few customers climb out on the roof for a better view. Programs are checked against a last-minute change of heart or allegiance, and it's almost time for the big show to begin. And now they're at the starting gate. Steve Phillips sits coolly at the controls of the big mechanical device which has revolutionized the sport and calls the horses to him. Now the gate begins to move, and Newport Star, the favorite, is acting up there in the rear. And the assistant starter leads him into place, and there he comes, beginning to glide smoothly through the bulky field toward the number 3 post position he drew a lot when the entry box was opened 2 days ago. The horses will go a mile once around the track. They're in perfect alignment as they hurtle down toward the starting line with only Ancora Hanover there at the rail off stride. Look at them go in a wonderful start. Here they come, battling for position. Whoops! In the rear, the Philly Helicopter made a wild break. As up front, Peter Nibble in the middle of the track goes out to challenge Peter Lynn for the early lead. Around the turn, it's Peter Lynn on top with Peter Nibble second on the outside, and L.B. Hanover third. Down toward the checkered half-mile post they move, with Peter Lynn still cutting out the pace, and Peter Nibble hanging on gamely in second place. Express Colby is third, L.B. Hanover fourth, and Morse Hanover fifth along the rail as they pass the half. And now from far back and on the extreme outside comes the favorite, Newport Star. Driver Dale Cameron has him in high gear, and he's really eating up the ground. He's fourth, he's third, and he's still moving. As they reach the three-quarter pole, Newport Star has the lead by a head over Peter Lynn, with L.B. Hanover third and Express Colby fourth. Singing Sword and Morse Hanover are coming fast. But up front, it's all Newport Star. He has a clear two-length lead now, and it looks like it's all over but the shouting. But maybe not. Singing Sword with Bill Miller whipping and driving is coming like a hurricane in the middle of the track. And on the outside of him, that's Morse Hanover with Jimmy Wingfield rallying his horse brilliantly in the drive for the wire. Look at that finish. It's a three-horse race as they come to the wire. But Morse Hanover gets up to win by 3/4 of a length over Singing Sword with Newport Star third. Oh, darn it, wrong horse. Morse Hanover's winning time for the mile distance is 2 minutes, 1 3/5 seconds. Exceptionally fast. He was 17-1 and paid $36.50 for $2. The son of Dean Hanover is owned by the Milky Way stable of Rockville Center, New York, and if he can win another heat, the Hambletonian is all his. 18 years ago, the winning driver, Jimmy Wingfield, out of Rome, Georgia, was the groom for a horse called Greyhound when that fastest of all trotters won the Hambletonian in his 3-year-old form. Jimmy would like nothing more than to repeat as a driver. The pay is much better. Back in the paddock, preparations for the next heat are already underway. Literally, there's no rest for the weary. Oh yes, order of finish in the first heat, back of Morse Hanover, Singing Sword and Newport Star, was Viking Frisco, Victory's First, Famous Hanover, L.D. Hanover, Kimberly Kid, Express Colby, Have a Song, Peter Lynn, Allure, King Nibble, Aerial Gunner, Bewitch, Newport Champ, Helicopter, Ben Gazy, Sir Lowwater, and Cora Hanover, Simpson Hanover, Shelby Hanover, and Newport Mascot. The big crowd is settled back again and waiting for the second heat. There have been no scratches, so it'll be 23 3-year-olds battling for the money again. Despite his failure in the first heat, the crowd still likes Newport Star and has installed him as the 8-5 choice. If Morse Hanover, second choice now at 7-2, wins this one, it's all over. And if he doesn't, the whole field comes back again. And if still another horse wins the third heat, those three come back to race it off. That's Morse Hanover now. Nice looking colt, isn't he? The crowd is tense, eager, expectant. Anything can happen on Hambletonian Day, and usually does. Been on Helicopter. And now, 29-year-old Harry Harvey, who lost his head in the stirring stretch drive, enters the winner's circle with Helicopter, and Bill Kane gives him a smiling, well done. Helicopter is owned by the Armstrong brothers, J. Elgin and C.E., from Brampton, Ontario. She was 17th in the first heat, and as part of the Miller stable entry in the second heat, paid $13.30 to win. The mile was in 2 and 4/5. L.D. Hanover was second, Singing Sword third, Newport Star fourth, and Morse Hanover winning the first heat, 11th, after a first-turn jam that caused him to go off stride. Helicopter is one of 3 horses from the Del Miller stable entered in the race. The others are Singing Sword and Sir Lowwater. Miller told friends last weekend that if Helicopter got the break, she'd be tough. As usual, he knew what he was talking about. In the paddock, busy grooms administer to the needs of their horses. It's about time for the third heat now, and Kimberly Kidd, who's had tough sledding so far, gets a last-minute facial from his groom, Old Perk. Time is fast running out on those horses that haven't yet won a heat. Out of the paddock they come with Harry Harvey and Helicopter leading the way. If either Helicopter or Morse Hanover wins this heat, the race is over. If another horse wins it, the 3 heat winners come back for a date with a winner's share of the record jackpot. Helicopter, incidentally, is a daughter of Hootman, the 1947 Hambletonian winner. No winner has yet sired a winner, but that jinx could be broken here today. 3 horses, Sir Lowwater, Peter Nibble, and Express Colby, have been scratched. There are 20 left in the field, and they're going away in as beautiful a start as Good Time Park has ever seen. Helicopter is away well along the rail, and Morse Hanover is right in behind her. L.B. Hanover rushes for the lead as they get away, but Helicopter is well placed, and so are the other contenders. Kimberly Kidd calls out to challenge L.B. Hanover as they round the turn, with Helicopter, Allure, Aerial Gunner, and Singing Sword right there. Even the railbirds seem to sense that this is the big one. And now, once again, it's that last half mile where class, breeding, and driving skill combine to separate separate the champions from the rest of the pack. Singing Sword is on top with Allure second, Kimberly Kid third, Helicopter fourth, and Nelby Hanover fifth. Horse Hanover is ninth. As they straighten out on the long stretch that leads to the three-quarter pole, Kimberly Kid goes out to test Singing Sword, and Helicopter tucks in behind him. The last quarter mile now, and it's Singing Sword and Kimberly Kid neck and neck with Allure, and Helicopter right back of them. Horse Hanover is too far back. He's out of it. Only 3/16 remaining, and Allwood Stables Kimberly Kid carves out a lead over Singing Sword. The latter appears out of it as Helicopter comes up on the outside, but Kimberly Kid is bravely holding her off. Kimberly Kid and Helicopter are battling it out, neck and neck, head and head, nose to nose. It looks like Kimberly Kid is going to win it as he holds grimly to that slight lead. But no, Kimberly Kid has gone off stride. And as Tommy Berry saws at the reins to get him back trotting again, Helicopter sweeps past him. Here they come, head on. Watch Kimberly Kid near the rail, go off stride. See, there he goes. And Helicopter wins it. The ninth filly and the first Canadian trotter ever to cup the Classic. And Harry Harvey, 29, and just 6 years off of Waterbury, Vermont farm, is the youngest driver ever to win the race. Helicopter's margin is ahead over Kimberly Kid, driven by Tommy Berry, for whom Harvey used to work. The filly paid $4.80 as the favorite. Singing Sword was third. The mile was clocked in 2 3/5, and Helicopter's share of the purse is a fat $63,000. Hey, these fillies are doing all right, too. Mrs. J.E. Armstrong and her husband and brother-in-law congratulate their driver as the spectators look on in approval. Trophy time now, and driver Dale Miller, who trained Helicopter, ducks out of the picture and lets his boy Harvey take all the bounds. Mr. Armstrong has a few things to say, and naturally they're about his filly and Harvey. And still more posing to the official family. The end of a perfect day for Canada, for Harry Harvey and Dale Miller, and for this wonderful filly walking back to her rub down and a thickly bedded stall. And maybe a carrot or two, because $63,000 will buy a lot of carrots. Lying adjacent to heavily traveled Route 17 at Goshen, New York, is a triangular-shaped racetrack which once a year inserts a rustic flavor into the American sports scene. Goshen is the home of the Hambletonian stake for 3-year-old trotters, world's richest race for harness horses, and the feature event of the annual Grand Circuit season. The Hambletonian this year, worth almost $107,000, was inaugurated at Syracuse, New York in 1926, but has been raced at Goshen since 1930. Every August, city folk and country folks help forge a link with the past as they enter the gates of Good Time Park for the big day with the trotter. Hambletonian Day is a festive day in this tiny village where the trotting horse has been king for more than a century, and the people who will watch the race in the stables which will participate represent a solid cross-section of Americana. The 1954 Hambletonian has drawn a field of 16 colts and fillies, and needless to say, each of them is out to take down the big prize, which includes this beautiful Hambletonian trophy. This is 80-year-old Bill Kane, who promotes the Hambletonian. And this is another octogenarian, Ben F. White, only man ever to win as many as 4 Hambletonians. Around the barn area, it's just another working day, but even the thoughts of stable hands stray to the race as they try to decide whether Mac Temp's stenographer can beat the colt, or whether Ailing Newport Dream is sound enough to win, or whether Prince Victor or Darn Safe or Harlan or Cronus can turn the trick. Nearing race time now, and trackside observers mark back a preview event 2 weeks ago at Vernon Downs, wherein stenographer trounced the fillies, while Prince Victor beat Newport Dream as the latter made his first start, and Cronus and Harlan split the other divisions of the tune-up. Now, here are the Hambletonian horses. Tommy Berry is out first with Darn Sweet, followed by Prince Victor, Jimmy Hackett up. Here, Plano Boy and Darn Safe with Bud Fitzpatrick and Benny Shute. That's favored stenographer with Del Miller and her stablemate, Harlan, with Jimmy Arthur. Dana Cameron drives Newport Pearl, and brother Del Cameron has Newport Dream. There's Lord Vic with Ralph Walton, followed by Princess Rodney with Frank Irving. Others in the field are True Newport with Russ Bullington, Vicky Hanover with Jimmy Wingfield, Cronus with Harry Planall, Ideal Hanover with Joy O'Brien, Rotary Hanover with Don Warley, and Runnymede Halfhorn with Ben Kempner. Now the final warm-up before the start. The field is at the gate and ready to roll. Here they come, but wait a minute. There in the rear, Darn Sweet and Harlan have locked wheels. That makes a mandatory recall, and starter Phillips orders another start. They file in behind the gate, and here they come. The entry of stenographer and Harlan is favored at 6-5, with Cronus at 7-2, and Prince Victor at 5-1. Stenographer battles for the early lead on the outside, but Plano Boy is holding her off. They're cutting out a dizzy clip, and here comes Prince Victor ranging up from 7th place on the outside, and he's really boiling. Prince Victor gets the lead, but whoops, goes off stride, and he's out of it. And now Newport Dream from 8th place pulls out behind Cronus and goes for the top as they reach and pass the halfway point. Winner of 20 and 22 starts last year, Newport Dream has been sidelined all summer with a sported leg ailment, and with only one start behind him, trainer Del Cameron doesn't think he's nearly tight enough to win it. But nobody's told Newport Dream. Newport Dream has that lead now, and he's opening up with a quarter of a mile to come. Through the lane, it's Newport Dream all by himself as the early leaders tire rapidly. Princess Rodney and Vicky Hanover are gaining ground, but it's going to be Newport Dream with plenty to spare. Newport Dream on the Grand Circuit Press in Octave Lake of South Plainfield, New Jersey, was timed in 2-2 and 4 fifths for the mile distance and paid $13.10 to win. Princess Rodney was second and Vicky Hanover third. Here's the winner back at the paddock where a veterinarian is giving him the saliva test, which he passes with flying colors. Newport Dream has won the first heat, but his task is only half over at best. In order to win the Hambletonian, the son of Axomite has to take 2 heats. Although that might appear simple off his easy first heat victory, anything can happen in harness racing. Newport Dream hasn't had many miles like that this year, and the additional heat might take its toll. Even as we talk about it, the horses are being readied for the next heat. Shaded by the brightly hued orange and blue covered awnings of the Good Times stable are packed with harness racing fans for this one. They don't want to miss a thing in a race as important as the Hambletonian. As they parade for the second heat, Newport Dream is favored at 6-5, while the entry as stenographer and Harlan is held at 9-2 as second choice. And here they come for the start of the second heat. Newport Dream is at the race. They're really trotting as they head around the sharp first turn with Lord Peg hitting the early lead. Stenographer is second, Rotary Hanover third, and Newport Dream is fourth. Stenographer and Del Miller go up after the lead as they race for the half. The Pennsylvania filly takes it from Lord Pick, but Rotary Hanover is also on the move. Canadian Colt takes the top, but Miller spots Newport Dream coming out of fourth, and he takes Stenographer right out after that lead again as they near the half. Now Newport Dream shows in front again, but this time they aren't going to let him steal it. Princess Rodney is coming, and Harlan is outside of her. Stenographer, it's a real horse race. The question now, can Newport Dream hold on? The blanket finish, but Newport Dream has a little something left, and he sticks his nose in front and wins it in the last stride. Newport Dream's margin was ahead over Harlan with Princess Rodney third and Stenographer fourth, less than a length off the lead. The winner paid $4.20, and his time once again was 2-2 and 4.50. Now Newport Dream, as brave a colt as ever drew breath, wends his way back to the winner's circle. Driver wins a gift from Mrs. Cameron. Cameron and New York Commissioner Monahan are joined by the driver's wife and son. Also, Bill Kane, who along with the commissioner prefers a congratulatory handshake. And here's owner Blake with the trophy and Hambletonian Society President E. Roland Harriman. Mr. Blake has been trying for years to win the Hambletonian, and when his Newport Star failed as the favorite last year, it looked as though he'd muffed his chest. But Newport Dream, a homebred full brother to Newport Star, made the grade today. All hail Newport Dream, a colt who wouldn't quit despite his aches and pains, and who made it the happiest of days for owner Blake and trainer-driver Cameron. Decked out in its usual Hambletonian day finery, the pleasant little village of Goshen, New York, welcomed the Grand Circuit Harness Racing fraternity, and thousands of harness racing fans were coming from all points of the compass today for the 29th renewal of the Hambletonian Stake for 3-year-old trotters. Old-timers who make the trip each year are glad to return to Goshen because they've fallen in love with the friendly village and the Hambletonian Day hospitality of Ladies' Aid Societies, which provide refreshments reminiscent of the old church lawn socials. It's a little more commercialized at the track itself, where Joe Fan has to pay his way through the gate, but when he watches the Hambletonian horses in action, he gets his money's worth and then some. 11 of them are going to the post today, headed by Scott Frost, the most phenomenal young trotter of all time. The purse is $86,000. Hey, nothing like bringing the whole family with you. This one looks like a strong, stable entry. Goshen has been the home of the Hambletonian since Bill Kane brought it here in 1930. These storied grounds have echoed to the hoofbeats of some great horses, but the quality of the 3-year-old trotters has never been more potent than in the current season. Scott Frost, undefeated this year, won in 2 minutes at Vernon Downs last week, equaling the world record he took as a 2-year-old last year. But Gallopone, Childs Hanover, Butch Hanover, and Colby Mite are all rated highly for this traditional event. Harness racing fans come in all age groups. Here are a pair of middle-aged observers. Here is a younger generation looking over the program, and here is a link with the harness racing fans. An old-timer and his wife who never miss the trotting class. Almost race time now, and caretakers are wrapping up last-minute chores before the call to post. The horses are in the paddock and ready for the race. That's been seen to by veteran paddock judge Dave Freak, who's been handling the Hambletonian chore for years and years. Joe O'Brien, Scott Frost driver, reports for work, as does Billy Houghton, who will handle Gallopone. Here Houghton exchanges a word with last year's Hambletonian winner, Del Cameron. Johnny Simpson, who will pilot Leopold Hanover, and Ralph Baldwin, Colby Mite's driver, contemplate the moments ahead. And Mrs. O'Brien drops by for a last-minute chat with her husband. The fans come to the edge of their seats now as the Hambletonian horses prepare to enter the track. In a moment or two, they'll be off and trotting with the horse that wins 2 heats being declared the winner. The Saul Camp entry of Shafter, California leads the way onto the track. That's Scott Frost with O'Brien. And home Butch Hanover with Jack Richardson. Undefeated Free with Clint Hodgins. Next is the Del Miller entry up way ahead with Miller Up. An Indian Raider with Jimmy Arthur. Here's Leopold Hanover with Johnny Simpson. Colby Mite with Ralph Baldwin. Childs Hanover with Frank Irvin. Gallopone with Billy Houghton. Flemington with Dana Cameron. And Arvilla Hanover with amateur rangeman Roger Brown, who bought her for $35,000 the other day just so he'd have one to drive in the big race. The camp entry of Scott Frost, Butch Hanover, and Home Free is the red-hot choice at 3.5 to 10. Gallopone is second choice at almost 5 to 1. Now the last-minute score, and then Starter Steve Phillips calls them in behind his mobile starting gate, and the crowd anxiously awaits the start of the first heat. Childs Hanover is off stride there in the background. As they come down to the starting point, Scott Frost is out in the center of the track, way ahead, and Leopold Hanover on the rail. It's Scott Frost that breaks out of that gate on top. Leopold Hanover's on the rail, way ahead between horses as they get away. And moving into the turn now, that's Scott Frost on the outside. He now challenges for and gets the lead. Leopold Hanover around that turn is second. And way ahead is third. Gallopone is moving on the outside now, fourth around that turn. Butch Hanover is fifth. Indian Raider is sixth. Flemington is seventh. Colby Might, Arvilla Hanover home free, and Childs Hanover off stride. The quarter in 29 and 4/5. On the lead on the rail, it's Scott Frost with Gallopone, the challenger, on the outside now second. Leopold Hanover is third. Way ahead is fourth. Butch Hanover is fifth. Indian Raider is sixth. Flemington is seventh. And Gallopone has that lead now with Scott Frost second. Leopold Hanover is third. Way ahead is fourth. Scott Frost content to moving on the outside now. He's going right on. It's Scott Frost taking back over the lead from Gallopone. Leopold Hanover is third. Way ahead is fourth. Butch Hanover is fifth. Indian Raider is sixth. Flemington is seventh. And Colby Might is eighth. Arvilla Hanover ninth. Home free and Childs Hanover trail the field. The half was in 1-1. Scott Frost on that lead now around the turn. Gallopone is second, and now that's Butch Hanover moving on the outside. Butch Hanover is now fifth on the outside. He's now fourth. Indian Raider also moving on the outside behind Butch Hanover. Butch Hanover is now third. Scott Frost has the lead. Here comes his stablemate. Butch Hanover up on the outside. Gallopone is third. It's Indian Raider fourth, and Indian Raider breaks stride as they come to the three-quarter mark. Leopold Hanover is saving ground on that rail. Flemington has moved up and is now fifth around the turn. Way ahead is sixth. The three-quarter time was 1:32 and 3/5. It's now Butch Hanover showing in front by just a nose. Scott Frost has that lead again as he moves through. Gallopone goes to the extreme outside, and Leopold Hanover is saving ground and moving fast on the inside. It's Scott Frost, and Leopold Hanover is now making up ground. He's now second on the outside. He's going for that leader. It's Scott Frost and Leopold Hanover as they come for that wire. It's Scott Frost and Leopold Hanover. Gallopone on the outside third, and Butch Hanover in right there is way ahead as they come to the wire. As the drivers pull up, the margin of victory proves to have been a half a length, with Gallopone third and Butch Hanover fourth. That's the ninth straight heat win for Scott Frost this year. The time was a splendid 2-1 and 3/5 for the mile distance, and Scott Frost pays $270 to win, $310 to place, and $220 to show. After a 1-hour respite, during which both the track and the horses are freshened up, they'll be back for the second heat. There are no scratches, and thus the field for the second heat is intact. The camp entry is favored at 3-10 this trip, just a little more prominently than before. It's still 5-1 against William T. Mayberry's Gallopone. There's Scott Frost taking his final score. And the starting gate moves forward. Scott Frost, Leopold Hanover, and way ahead in the center of the track, coming down together. And Leopold Hanover is the first horse to break out of the gate. And Scott Frost is along the rail. Childs Hanover and way ahead is moving up on the outside. It's Leopold Hanover on that lead. Way ahead second on the outside. Scott Frost third on the rail. Childs Hanover is now fourth. Gallopone between horses is fifth. Home free is sixth. Flemington off stride is seventh. As they come over to the turn now, it's Leopold Hanover on the lead. Way ahead is second. Scott Frost is third on the rail. Childs Hanover is fourth. Home free is fifth on the rail. Gallopone is sixth on the outside. And Butch Hanover is seventh. As they swing around the turn into the quarter mark, on the lead it's Leopold Hanover. Way ahead is second. Back there fifth. Home free is off stride. As they wheel around the turn and go to the back stretch, 29 1/5 that quarter time. It's way ahead in Leopold Hanover, and Childs Hanover, third horse on the outside, is ranging up for that lead. Childs Hanover way ahead, and Leopold Hanover, three horses across the track. Childs Hanover has the lead now, way ahead, dropping back between horses. Leopold Hanover is second on the rail. Scott Frost is still fourth. Gallopone is now fifth. As they hit the halfway mark on that lead now, it's Childs Hanover by a length. Leopold Hanover is second. Around the turn, Scott Frost is caught between horses, and Colby Might is moving up fast, now sixth, now fifth. Colby Might is still moving up on the outside. They've got Scott Frost between horses. The half was in a minute and 1/5. Around the turn, it's Giles Hanover on the lead. Colby Midas still moving. Scott Frost trying to come between horses. And Gallifone comes with him. It's Colby Might ranging up on the outside now. Way ahead, dropping back. But Scott Frost finds a hole, and he breaks through, and Gallifone goes with him. Colby Might seems to be tiring. It's Scott Frost on that lead. Giles Hanover is second. Colby Might third, but Gallifone is eating up ground fast. Gallifone is now third, now second. It's Scott Frost on the lead. Gallifone is second. Giles Hanover is third now. The three-quarters in 1:31 1/5. Leopold Hanover is fourth. As they come around the turn, Butch Hanover is now fifth. Leopold Hanover moving on the outside, trying to get up for third. But it's Scott Frost and Gallifone, two of the greatest 3-year-olds of all time. They're coming into the top of the lane. And watch the drivers, watch the horses. One of the greatest finishes of any Hambletonian. Scott Frost and Gallifone are giving it all they've got, head and head, neck and neck. Scott Frost and Gallifone as they come for that wire. Scott Frost in the closest bit of his career. And so Scott Frost takes it in the tightest bit of his young career. Ahead over gallant Gallifone. Man, what a finish that was. The time a sizzling 2 minutes and 3/5. Only Hootman, sire of Scott Frost, ever trotted faster in the Hambletonian. His 2-minute effort in 1947 standing up as the stake record. In the winner's circle, caretaker Don Beale walks his horse and awaits the arrival of the guests of honor. Here's driver O'Brien wiping away a little lipstick as his wife Betty congratulates caretaker Beale. O'Brien, a Canadian by birth, is one of the nation's finest trainers and drivers. He's been working for Mr. Camp for 4 years now, and they've had some great champions. There's Mr. Camp. That's his daughter-in-law with him, and with the O'Brien is Mrs. Camp. Scott Frost, first 2-year-old ever to trot a race in 2 minutes, has now won 5 straight this year and 11 straight heats. And today he's taking his place alongside the all-time harness racing great. For perhaps the last time, the Grand Circuit flag, symbolic of all the best in harness racing, waves in the breeze over Good Time Park at Goshen, New York, home of the Hambletonian stake for 3-year-old trotters since 1931, and the personal pride and joy of the late Bill Kane, who died last winter. The thousands of harness racing fans filing through the canopied gates are unaware that tomorrow the Hambletonian Society, which controls the race, will vote unanimously to transfer it to Des Moines, Illinois. But today's crowd is interested only in the 30th renewal of the Trotting Classic, which has drawn a field of 20 of the finest trotting sophomores in the land, going for a purse in excess of $100,000. The field has been reduced to its present size from an original nomination list, which contained 492 names. Gradually, as the various sustaining payments became due, owners withdrew for one reason or another until, 2 days ago, only 20 decided that their horses were worth the final $1,000 starting payment, which became due then. The favorite for the big race is Egyptian Princess, slim bay filly owned by a pair of comparative newcomers to harness racing, the brothers Norman and Fred Woolworth of Winthrop, Maine. Egyptian Princess is trained and driven by veteran rangeman Earl Avery, who will be appearing in his first Hambletonian at the tender age of 62. Today's work schedule for Egyptian Princess begins around 11 in the morning, when Avery and the filly make the first of 3 warm-up trips to the track, while getting ready to answer the starter's call at 3 o'clock. intermission calls for refreshments, family style, beneath a giant oak. And this pre-teenage fan seems to be enjoying hers. Well, the formalities have been disposed of now. The warm-up miles for the 20 starters have been concluded. And at 10, silence settles over the ancient grandstand. The race is only moments away. In the paddock, the drivers, owners, and caretakers make a last-minute check on their horses, for this is the moment these 3-year-olds have been pointed for. A loose shoe, a faulty piece of equipment, a chunk of dirt wedged between gear and flesh. Any of those things could result in the winner's share of the purse disappearing down the drain. All is in readiness now as the 20 trotters await the signal that will send them to the track. The first horse to win 2 heats will be declared the winner. The race could go 3 or even 4 heats. And here they come. In order of appearance, they are the Fitzpatrick entry of H.K. McPherson and Specialty, the right side farm entry of Murray and Bull Rodney, the Newgate farm entry of Nimble Colby and Magnus Hanover, the Del Miller entry of Hugo Hanover and Lowwater Victory, and Darn Gay, Egyptian Princess, Saboteur, Valiant Rodney, Ego Hanover, Dial Tone, Torrance Hanover, The Intruder, Demon Always, Go, Newport Dell, and Hoot Dolmont. The crowd has made Egyptian Princess the even money favorite. The field, consisting of 6 horses, is second choice at 5.5 to 1. Saboteur is 6 to 1, and Nimble Colby and Magnus Hanover 7 to 1. The others are long shots. The dean of all starters, Steve Phillips, moves the horses in. Dial Tone has the rail. Darn Gay moves in second. Egyptian Princess third. Saboteur will come out of the 4-hole. Torrance Hanover fifth. The starting gate moves forward. Springs open, and Saboteur is the first one out. Followed out by Murray and Torrance Hanover. That's Torrance Hanover and Murray racing for the early lead now. In the turn, Saboteur's on the rail. It's Murray and Torrance Hanover as they move to the back stretch. The crowd screams. It's Torrance Hanover taking the lead now. And Murray is on the outside. Murray shows in front now by a net. It's Torrance Hanover second. Saboteur is third. Hugo Hanover moving on the outside. So's Nimble Colby and Ego Hanover. Valiant Rodney's along the rail. H.K. McPherson made a break between horses. And Egyptian Princess is well back in the field. Hugo Hanover races up on the outside and is now second. It's Murray on top by a half a length. Hugo Hanover is second on the outside. Torrance Hanover is third. Nimble Colby is fourth. Saboteur is fifth. Ego Hanover is sixth. That was H.K. McPherson breaking between horses there. Valiant Rodney along the rail is now sixth. Egyptian Princess is off stride seventh and out of the race. And Hugo Hanover has taken the lead now. Nimble Colby racing on the outside is now second. Murray is third. Ego Hanover on the outside is fourth. Torrance Hanover is now fifth. Saboteur is now sixth as they come around the turn. Valiant Rodney is seventh and moving along, saving ground on the rail. As they come around that far turn now, Nimble Colby and Hugo Hanover race head and head. It's Nimble Colby now on top. Hugo Hanover is second. Ego Hanover on the outside is third. Murray is now fourth. As they go down the back stretch to the 3-quarter mark. And here they come. Saboteur moving on the outside is now fourth. And around the turn, Ego Hanover is ranging up on the outside of Nimble Colby. It's Nimble Colby and Ego Hanover racing head and head in a turn. Hugo Hanover is third. Saboteur is now fourth. Valiant Rodney, 3 horses wide, is now fifth. Around that far turn they come. Murray is still hanging on gamely sixth. Torrance Hanover is tiring and seems to be all through. It's Ego Hanover on top by a half a length now. Nimble Colby is second. Saboteur is third. That's Valiant Rodney, 4 horses wide at this point. Murray is 5 horses wide. And it's Nimble Colby moving down through the straightaway now. Saboteur between horses. Valiant Rodney on the outside, and Murray is off stride. It's Valiant Rodney and Nimble Colby to that wire. Valiant Rodney and Nimble Colby. And Valiant Rodney, a son of Rodney, has upset the apple cart in the first heat with a 3-quarter length victory over Nimble Colby and Saboteur. Murray, who finished second, was disqualified for running at the wire. Egyptian Princess wound up 14th after her costly break. Valiant Rodney and driver Dana Cameron returned to the winner's circle. It's Cameron's first appearance there on Hambletonian Day, although his brother Dell won with Newport Dream in 1954. Valiant Rodney pays a whopping $60.30 to win, the second longest price in Hambletonian history. He was clocked in 2-3, good, but not sensational time. The winner is owned by Alice Johnston of Charlotte, North Carolina, whose father-in-law, the late R. Horace Johnston, won the Hambletonian with Bill Gallen in 1941. Driver Cameron and Dave Johnston, the owner's husband, talk it over as they await the second heat, which will be coming up shortly. And it's back to work now for Valiant Rodney and the others. If the Carolina Colt wins this one, it's all over. But if another horse grabs the second heat, a third heat will be raced. There are no scratches, and the full field of 20 is coming back. Egyptian Princess is favored at 5-2. Valiant Rodney at 4-1. Valiant Rodney has the rail as the gate moves for the start of the second heat, and they're up and trotting. With Saboteur breaking out of that gate with Ego Hanover between horses. Go his third horse on the outside. It's Saboteur, Ego Hanover, Go and Nimble Kobe on the rail as they race into that first turn. Saboteur has the lead. Moving into the back stretch now. Go ranges up and takes the lead now. Torrance Hanover is second. Ego Hanover is now third. Hugo Hanover is now fourth. Saboteur is fifth. And Nimble Kobe is sixth. Littlewater Victory on the outside is seventh. As they move down the back stretch now, it's Go on top. Torrance Hanover is trailing now. And on the outside, Hugo Hanover rushing up, and Egyptian Princess is coming fast now. Egyptian Princess takes the lead. Hugo Hanover, Valiant Rodney both moving on the outside well. But it's Egyptian Princess that takes the lead. Valiant Rodney is second. Torrance Hanover is third. Hugo Hanover is now fourth. And Ego Hanover is slipping through on the inside now. As Go in our stride. It's Ego Hanover moving through on the inside and is now third. Hugo Hanover is fourth. Egyptian Princess on the front end now by a 3/4 of a length. Valiant Rodney is second. Ego Hanover is third. Hugo Hanover is nailed fourth. Nimble Kobe is also coming on now. As they come around the turn, Nimble Kobe is that horse third on the outside, and the Intruder begins to show. He's now seventh, now sixth. The Intruder is coming on. It's Egyptian Princess with the lead now. Valiant Rodney, it seems to be tiring. And it's Ego Hanover, and the Intruder is boiling on the outside. He's now moving fast. The Intruder may get it all. And out of nowhere, the Intruder, aptly named indeed, has made his presence felt by coming from 11th at the half and winning the second heat by a half a length in 2-1 and 2/5. Excellent time for the mile, with Egyptian Princess second and Valiant Rodney third. Highest price yearling of 1954 at $35,000. The Intruder did not race at 2 last year. He is owned by the Allwood stable of Far Hills, New Jersey, and his victory is worth $26.80 for each $2 wager. It's the first Hambletonian heat ever won by youthful Ned Bauer, and if he can bring the Intruder back to win the third and deciding heat, it will be one of the greatest upsets of all time. The Intruder never figured in pre-race ratings and was a doubtful starter until he worked a sensational last half in 58 seconds just 4 days ago. He's only made 6 starts in his life. Niall Tone has been scratched from the third heat, and 19 parade to the post. The crowd still likes Egyptian Princess and makes her the 7-5 choice. The Intruder and Valiant Rodney are each 4.5 to 1. All right, the starting gate moves forward for the third heat. The Intruder has the rail. The gate springs open. Egyptian Princess breaks out of that gate with the Intruder. Nimble Kobe, Valiant Rodney, and Saboteur and Ego Hanover. Saboteur on the outside, Ego Hanover on the inside. It's Saboteur taking the lead now. Ego Hanover is the second horse on the inside. The Intruder is third. Egyptian Princess beginning to move now. Nimble Kobe is also on the outside. So's Murray. The Intruder still comfortable along that rail. As they move down to the halfway mark, Saboteur has the lead. Egyptian Princess and Nimble Kobe both moving. Nimble Kobe moving the fastest now. It's Nimble Kobe second on the outside. Egyptian Princess still moving up on the outside is now third. It's Nimble Kobe on top. Saboteur is second. Egyptian Princess on the outside is now third. Eagle Hanover is fourth. Murray is off stride fifth. Valiant Rodney between horses is now sixth. The Intruder is now seventh. As they move to the far turn, Lulwater Victory is eighth, but trotting fast on the outside now seventh. Over the far turn, Egyptian Princess takes the lead now. Nimble Kobe is second. Valiant Rodney is third. Saboteur is fourth. Lulwater Victory is fifth. Eagle Hanover is now sixth around the turn. The Intruder is seventh as they wheel around the far turn now to the three-quarters. It's Egyptian Princess on top. Valiant Rodney is second. Nimble Kobe on the rail is third. Lulwater Victory is now fourth. Saboteur is fifth. Eagle Hanover is sixth. The Intruder is seventh. As they hit the three-quarter mark, it's going to be Egyptian Princess and Valiant Rodney. And along the rail, Nimble Kobe is third. It's Lulwater Victory now fourth. Around the turn they come. And Eagle Hanover still in contention with Saboteur. The Intruder is still seventh. It may go another heat. It's Egyptian Princess on top. Valiant Rodney is still second now. Eagle Hanover is moving fast. He's nailed fifth. He's nailed fourth. Lulwater Victory looks for racing room. Eagle Hanover and the Intruder is coming 5 horses wide. It's Egyptian Princess. It's Valiant Rodney. It's Eagle Hanover. Eagle Hanover is coming strongly, and so's the Intruder, and Saboteur on the inside. Eagle Hanover has the lead at this point. The Intruder is coming on strongly on the outside. It's going to be the Intruder. And here they are. And the Intruder, a Cinderella horse in every sense of the word, has done it. Upsetting the best of the business for the second straight heat by 3/4 of a length in 2-2. Eagle Hanover was second and Valiant Rodney third. The Intruder pays $10.90 to win, and the son of Scotland, Mighty Margaret, bred by Walnut Hall Farm, takes his place within the ranks of harness racing's all-time greats on a game and gritty performance. The victory is worth almost $60,000 to owner Leonard J. Buck, and a percentage of that, plus a kiss from his wife, Ford trainer driver Bauer, who celebrates his 33rd birthday tomorrow. Owner Buck, a mining engineer, stands between his trainer and retired harness racing great Thomas W. Murphy, Buck's advisor, and also the man who selected the Intruder as a yearling. It's a great day for the Intruder, Bauer, Buck, and Murphy. One of the few times in the history of the Classic, Grand Circuit flags wave on Hambletonian Day over a home other than Goshen, New York. The new home of the Hambletonian is the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds at DuQuoin, Illinois, where, more than 30 years ago, the late W.R. Hayes began transforming 30,000 acres of bleak, barren strip mining land into what is now acknowledged as one of the most beautiful fairgrounds in the world. In the middle of this land of lakes and lagoons, he laid out one of the finest and fastest trotting tracks in the world, and then began bidding for the privilege of staging the most famous harness race in the world. Mr. Hayes died before his Hambletonian dream came true, but his sons, Gene and Don, carried on the campaign, which reaches fruition here today. DuQuoin, a southern Illinois community of 7,500, wears its brightest face for the 30,000 harness racing fans who have descended on it for the big day. All roads lead to the fairgrounds. Racing fans begin arriving early in the morning and are shuttled smoothly into the grounds and down tree-shaded lanes to the grandstand area where the county fair atmosphere, which so typifies harness racing, prevails in abundance. Hambletonian field of 21 has been broken up into 2 divisions of 11 and 10 horses. Each division races 2 heats. Any horse winning one of these 4 preliminary heats qualifies for the 5th and final heat which determines the Hambletonian champion. The purse is a near record $111,000. Although wagering is not permitted, the experts have Hickory Smoke and Buckeye Demon as the horses to reckon with in the first division and Hoot Song as a standout in the second. For caretakers, the day begins early and lasts a long, long time. For one of them, it'll be a most enjoyable afternoon. For the others, a disappointing one. In the paddock, all activity points toward the big race, which is not far off. As post time nears, Don Hayes settles in his trackside box, while Brother Gene issues last-minute instructions. Veteran driver Tommy Berry, mounted in a high-wheel sulky behind the Hayes champion Pronto Don, leads them into the post for the first heat. Number 1 is Buckeye Demon with Harrison Hoyt. And behind him comes Storm Cloud with Ned Bauer, Dolph Hanover with Dana Irving, Bond Hanover with Joe O'Brien, Royal Rodney with Penny Shue, Lord Chuck with Stanley Dancer, Monty Hanover with Frank Irvin, Casson Hanover with Fred Egan, Philip Frost with Jim Hackett, Slicker Frost with Billy Houghton, and Hickory Smoke with Johnny Simpson. All right, they line up behind the McDowell starting gate now. As they move into the gate, Buckeye Demon has the rail. Storm Cloud is in second, Dolph Hanover third. The trailer will be Hickory Smoke. They're behind the gate, ready to go in the first heat of the Hambletonian. All right, they're ready to go now. And it's Lord Chuck off stride as Storm Cloud breaks out of the gate. As they get away, Bond Hanover moving on the outside. It's Philip Frost. It's Bond Hanover now on the lead in the first turn. That's Royal Rodney second on the outside. Philip Frost still moving up on the outside is now third. As they go into that turn, Storm Cloud is now fourth. Monty Hanover between horses is fifth. Buckeye Demon is now sixth. Casson Hanover is seventh. Slicker Frost is eighth. Hickory Smoke is ninth. As they go to the quarter mark, it's Royal Rodney at the quarter in 29 3/5 seconds. Philip Frost on the outside is second. Von Hanover is now third. Storm Cloud is now fourth. Monty Hanover on the outside is fifth. Buckeye Demon is sixth. Slicker Frost is seventh. Casson Hanover is eighth. And Hickory Smoke is ninth. As they go down the backstretch to the halfway mark, Philip Frost takes the lead now. Royal Rodney is second. Von Hanover is now third. Monty Hanover and Storm Cloud moving on the inside. As they come down, Slicker Frost on the move and Buckeye Demon. As they get to the halfway mark, that's Slicker Frost and Buckeye Demon moving at the half in 59 3/5. As they go to that turn, Monty Hanover is moving between horses. It's Monty Hanover rushing up between now to take that lead. As they come to the turn, Slicker Frost on the outside. Monty Hanover has the lead between horses. Slicker Frost is now second on the outside. Buckeye Demon is also on the move. He's now third, and Hickory Smoke from ninth position starts to move in eighth place. As they come to the far turn in the three-quarters, Slicker Frost is off stride now, and it's Buckeye Demon coming on the outside of Monty Hanover. It's Buckeye Demon and Monty Hanover in the turn, and Hickory Smoke is now fifth. He's now fourth. He's now third. At the top of the stretch, that's Hickory Smoke, 3 horses wide. Buckeye Demon has the lead now. Casson Hanover between horses is third. As they come down the stretch, it's Buckeye Demon by a half a length. Hickory Smoke is second on the outside. It's Buckeye Demon going to the whip, so is Hickory Smoke. They're head and head now as Buckeye Demon and Hickory Smoke come to that wire. It's going to be close. Buckeye Demon on the inside, Hickory Smoke on the outside. As they come for the wire, it's Hickory Smoke and Buckeye Demon. Hickory Smoke by a head over Buckeye Demon, second. Casson Hanover was third. The time is 2-1, third fastest heat in Hambletonian history, as Hickory Smoke qualifies for the final day. Simpson has never won a Hambletonian, although he hopes to remedy that with Smoke, a son of the 1945 winner Titan Hanover. Hickory Smoke is owned by Lawrence Shepard and Archie Mudge of Hanover, Pennsylvania, where Shepard is master of famed Hanover shoe fire. Time now for the second heat, and the horses are on the track. Leading the way is Hoot Song with Ralph Baldwin up, followed by Glory Hanover with Gene Regal, Silver Way with Frank Irvin, Marmion Hanover with Billy Houghton, Major Newport with Del Cameron, Section Man with Simpson, Speedster with Dave Smith, Abel Hanover with Archie Niles, Mudge Hanover with O'Brien, and Cindy Gal with Bill Carney. They're ready to get behind the gate now, as they move in. And Hoot Song has the rail in this one. Glory Hanover will move in second. Silver Way is in third. Marmion Hanover behind the gate fourth. Major Newport in fifth. Suction Man sixth. Cindy Gal on the outside, and here they come. Mr. McDowell moves the horses in behind the gate. Hoot Song is in there. Silver Way is off stride, and Major Newport breaks away on top as the gate springs open. Hits Major Newport. Suction Man on the outside. Hoot Song on the rail. As they hit the first turn, it's Major Newport on top. Hit Suction Man on the outside, now second. Hoot Song is now third. Marmion Hanover is fourth. Glory Hanover is now fifth. Cindy Gal is sixth. Speedster is seventh. Mudge Hanover is eighth, and Abel Hanover is ninth. As they race into the turn, that's Cindy Gal, the horse on the outside, on the move. Hit Suction Man on top, along the rail. It's Major Newport second at the quarter, in 30 and 3/5. Along the rail, Hoot Song is third. Cindy Gal on the outside is fourth. Marmion Hanover is now fifth. Glory Hanover is sixth. Speedster is seventh and beginning to move. It's Mudge Hanover eighth. Abel Hanover ninth. There goes Major Newport up on the outside. Suction Man has the lead. Major Newport taking over now as they race down the back stretch. It's Major Newport on top. Suction Man is second. Cindy Gal on the outside is third. Hoot Song is fourth. Marmion Hanover is fifth. Speedster on the outside is sixth. Glory Hanover is seventh. Mudge Hanover is eighth. And Abel Hanover ninth at the half in 1:01. Cindy Gal racing up on the outside now, trying for that lead. Hits Cindy Gal, and she's off stride. Hits Major Newport on top now. Around that turn, here comes Hoot Song. As they come around that far turn, it's Major Newport leading. Hoot Song is second. Suction Man is third. Speedster is now fourth. Marmion Hanover is fifth. Mudge Hanover begins to move now. He's seventh. Abel Hanover is trying to come on too. As they race around the far turn, though, it's still Major Newport and Hoot Song around the turn. Major Newport has the lead. Suction Man's along the rail. That's Mudge Hanover, 4 horses wide. Speedster, 3 horses wide at the top of the stretch. It's Hoot Song trying for the lead with Major Newport on the rail. Speedster is trying to come on. Suction Man looks for racing room. It's Major Newport on the inside. Hoot Song on the outside. Major Newport's off stride. And it's Hoot Song on the lead. Suction Man is second. Speedster is third. Mudge Hanover trying to come on. It's Hoot Song leading now by a length. And the Suction Man is second. Speedster is third as they go to the wire. It's Hoot Song, Suction Man, and Speedster. Time is 2 2 1/5, and Hoot Song's margin is a length. Like Simpson, Baldwin has never won the Hambletonian, although he's come close on a couple of occasions. Hoot Song is the daughter of Hoot Mon and Love Song, and was bred and is owned by Leo C. McNamara's Two-Gate Farm of Carmel, Indiana. Mr. McNamara, whose son Ed is associated with him in the racing stable, is seeking his first Hambletonian win, too. Hoot Song has already won the first leg of Trotting's Triple Crown, the $57,000 Yonkers Futurity, to which Hickory Smoke was not eligible. The horses in the first division are getting ready to return now, with Hickory Smoke scheduled to score at the rail. Buckeye Demon and Casson Hanover line up alongside him, and Lord Chuck is the second row trailer. They're ready to go. They earned their position. They're in behind the McDowell gate and ready. They're off and trotting. As they get away, Hickory Smoke breaks on the lead now. Von Hanover is on the move. Royal Rodney and Storm Cloud on the outside. Lord Chuck's along the rail. As they race into the first turn, it's Hickory Smoke on the lead. Royal Rodney second. Von Hanover third. Lord Chuck on the rail is now fourth. Storm Cloud is fifth. Buckeye Demon is sixth. Casson Hanover on the outside is now seventh. As they race into the turn, Von Hanover has the lead now by a neck on the outside. Racing into that turn now. It's Von Hanover on top. As they go to the quarter mark, Von Hanover at the quarter mark leads the quarter in 29 and 3/5 seconds. And racing into the backstretch, Storm Cloud ranges up on the outside and takes the lead now. It's Von Hanover second. Royal Rodney is third on the outside. Hickory Smoke is fourth on the rail. Captain Hanover is now fifth. Lord Chuck is sixth. Buckeye Demon's moving on the outside. He's now seventh. As they move down the backstretch now, Royal Rodney races for the outside, and he's going for and he's getting the lead. That's Casson Hanover, and Buckeye Demon is 3 horses wide, and he's really flying at the half in 59 and 4/5 seconds. Buckeye Demon is now second. Buckeye Demon is now going for and challenging and getting the lead. It's Buckeye Demon on top now. Royal Rodney is second. Casson Hanover is third. Here comes Hickory Smoke on the outside. He's now fifth. He's now fourth. Storm Cloud on the rail is now fifth. As they race into the far turn, it's Buckeye Demon on the lead. Casson Hanover is second. Hickory Hickory Smoke is third. Royal Rodney is fourth. Around the turn, Lord Chuck is now fifth at the three-quarter mark. On the lead in 129 at the three-quarter. It's still Buckeye Demon with Catherine Hanover between horses second. Hickory Smoke on the outside is now third. Lord Chuck along the rail is fourth, and he's looking for racing room. It's Buckeye Demon on the lead now. Catherine Hanover, the second horse on the outside. That's Hickory Smoke, three horses wide, and he's flying now. Smoke is coming on strongly. It's Hickory Smoke. He's got him. It's going to be Hickory Smoke. Buckeye Demon second. And third is Catherine Hanover. The margin is 3/4 of a length this time, and the mile was trotted in 2 minutes and a fifth, second fastest ever registered in the Hambletonian. The record was established back in 1947 when Hootman circled the Goshen course in 2 minutes flat. This is a sensational feat for Hickory Smoke, who has been in and out of action all year, and who was rained out of his last scheduled start a week ago, forcing Simpson to adjust his delicate training schedule at the last minute. Smoke's performance so far today indicates that whatever Simpson did, it was a proper move. Time for the fourth heat now, the second heat of the second division. Only Hickory Smoke from the first division horses is qualified for the fifth heat, as has Hoot Song from this division. If Hoot Song wins this one, she and Hickory Smoke alone will tangle for championship honors. Hurrah! And trotting with Mudge Hanover, breaking on top. Abel Hanover is second. Major Newport is third. Hoot Song along the rail, and Silver Way is 5 horses wide in the turn. It's Mudge Hanover on top. It's Abel Hanover second. Silver Way on the outside. Hoot Song's on the rail. Major Newport between horses as they go to the turn now. It's Mudge Hanover on top. Abel Hanover and Silver Way race on the outside. That's Abel Hanover between horses getting the lead. Silver Way on the outside is second. Mudge Hanover is now third at the quarter in 29 2/5. Major Newport on the outside is fourth. Hoot Song is now fifth. Section Man is sixth. Speedster is now seventh. As they race down the back stretch, Silver Way takes the lead. Brian Eck on the outside. Abel Hanover is now second on the rail. Mudge Hanover is third. Hoot Song on the rail is fourth. Major Newport on the outside is fifth. Section Man is sixth, and that's Speedster seventh. They're nearing the halfway mark now. It's Silver Way on the front end at the half in 59 2. Mudge Hanover is second on the outside now. Around the turn, Abel Hanover is third. Hoot Song is fourth. Section Man has moved up fifth. Speedster is now sixth in the turn. It's Mudge Hanover on top now. Around the turn, they wheel to the three-quarter mark. Silver Way is second. Out of the hole comes Hoot Song with a rush. Hoot Song is now fourth. Hoot Song is now third. Abel Hanover moving two. Abel Hanover between horses, and here comes Section Man on the outside. As they come to the three-quarter mark, it's anybody's heat. Around the turn, it's Hoot Song on top. Mudge Hanover is still second. The three-quarters within 130 and 4/5. Hoot Song in the center of the racetrack now, taking the lead at the top of the stretch. Section Man, Silver Way, Abel Hanover, they're all trying to fight for second place as Hoot Song seems to be moving away from him now. It's Hoot Song in the center of the racetrack. Abel Hanover hanging on. Here comes Section Man and Speedster racing up for second. Silver Way is hanging on the inside, but on the front end, it's all Hoot Song. Hoot Song, but 2 1/4 lengths. Section Man second, Speedster third. The time is 2-2 as Hoot Song earns the right for a showdown bout with Hickory Smoke. In just about 45 minutes, they'll be back to race it off. Hoot Song was a top 2-year-old last year, but had a bad habit of breaking stride at inopportune moments. The patient Baldwin tutored her against this trait all last winter, and the success which has attended her efforts this year indicates that he did his job well. Hickory Smoke was voted 2-year-old Trotter of the Year in 1956 and was purchased by Shepherd and Mudge from his breeder Bowman Brown just a year ago this time. Hoot Song has drawn the pole position and will move in behind the championship pair of Tommy Berry and Pronto Don for the final parade. Here they are, the only survivors from an original Hambletonian nomination list of 489. And in a few minutes, one of these will fall to the wayside. Here they come now, and they're off. Simpson elects to go to the front with Hickory Smoke, and Baldwin and Hoot Song offer no resistance. This race-off will be a battle of driving strategy as well as a test of each man's and horse's ability. The early pace will be assuredly moderate, as it is now, but at some later stage, probably somewhere between the halfway point and the top of the stretch, Baldwin will shake the lines at Hoot Song, and she will come out after the leaders. And then, two of the finest young trotters the sport has known in a long while will battle it out head-and-head for the highest honors harness racing can bestow. Victory in the Hambletonian. The first quarter time was 34 2/5. Racing down the backstretch now, it's Hickory Smoke, Johnny Simpson up by a length. Hoot Song with Ralph Baldwin up right in behind. And Simpson is looking for his first Hambletonian victory as he races Hickory Smoke right down to the halfway mark. Hoot Song right in, ready to challenge. And, of course, the drivers could challenge at any point in the mile, but usually they'll wait until right around this turn. 1/8 3/5 was the halftime, and Hoot Song could now come out at any moment, or Baldwin might elect to wait until the three-quarter. We'll see. Here's Hickory Smoke in the turn now. Hoot Song is right there as they come in. Baldwin is not going to wait. He's out now. He's moving with Hoot Song. Hickory Smoke's on the inside, and Simpson shakes Hickory Smoke up. Here comes Hoot Song. They're racing head-and-head now in that far turn. Gets Hickory Smoke around the turn as they come to the three-quarters. Hoot Song on the outside, and they're head-and-head now. They're neck and neck. Hickory Smoke and Hoot Song for the Hambletonian. Which one will it be? Hickory Smoke's on the inside. Hoot Song's on the outside. As they come down by the 8-mile pole, it's Hickory Smoke and Hoot Song. Either one of them could do it. It's Hickory Smoke on the inside. He seems to be stronger at this point. Hoot Song, however, is right there trying to come on. It's Hickory Smoke and Hoot Song. Hickory Smoke seems to be getting it all now as they come for the wire, and it's Hickory Smoke. The time was a moderate 2/8 4/5, but the last half was in 1 minute and a fifth, and the final quarter in a sizzling 28 3/5, as Hickory Smoke, with a great display of speed, manners, and gameness, proves his right to be rated on a par with other great Hambletonian winners. The Hambletonian trophy is held by Lawrence Shepard as he and Hickory Smoke flank Simpson in the winner's circle. Mrs. Simpson, co-owner Archie Mudd, Illinois Governor Stratton, and Grand Circuit President Octave Blake join in the festivities. Dean Hayes steps into view at the right, and caretaker Ike Hill at the left, as DuQuoin winds up its most memorable afternoon.
Illinois wears the crown with a jewel bright, home of harness racing at its very best. It's DuQuoin where you see all the champs in flight, the greatest racing in the Middle West. Hambletonian, rolls of great renown. One will win the classic crown as we thrill through the Hambletonian.
Brightest jewel in harness racing's crown, glistening in a Midwestern summertime setting, as millions of sportsmen from the farms, from the cities, yes, from near and from far, come young and old to this outstanding sports spectacle. Today's classic has a purse of more than $106,000. Supplies must be purchased, of course. And the sun is hot. Souvenirs are a must. Now to find our seats, and we have plenty of company, the massed thousands await the finest 3-year-old trotters in all the land. There is no betting here, but many think Emily's Pride will do it, while others like Sharpshooter. Spunky Hanover had a great record in the East, while Lumber Along, McColby, Mr. Saunders, Sandalwood, and Great Lullwater have admired. It's a busy day and a satisfactory one for Gene Hayes, who has spared neither time, effort, nor money in staging the Hambletonian. And he has just been rewarded with a new 3-year contract for the Classic. Brother Don Hayes shares the work and the satisfaction. Victory Lane is only one of many eye-pleasing innovations this year. And here's the goal, the Hambletonian Trophy. The big moment has arrived, and bugler Phil Pearson heralds the horses. Penny Shoe with the Hayes champion, Pronto Don, pulling a high-wheeled sulky, heads the all-star cast. Number 1 is Mr. Saunders, driven by Gene Regal. Number 2, Florella Hanover, Earl Avery in the sulky. Mix Hanover with Lou Huber Jr. is number 3, while number 4 is Little Rocky, piloted by Joey O'Brien. Number 5 is Sharpshooter with Harry Pinal, while Emily's Pride carries number 6 and is driven by Flick Knight. Number 7, Lumber Along, driven by Phil Corley. Gangawa, number 8, with Johnny Simpson. Number 9 is Baron Colby, piloted by Johnny Chaplin. And number 10 is Spunky Hanover, driven by Bobby Camper. Record Matt carries number 11 with Del Cameron. And Del's brother Dana drives number 12, McColby. Number 13 is Sandalwood with Ralph Baldwin. And Great Lullwater is number 14 with Del Miller. We're all set now for the first heat. Riley Couch, Newark, Ohio, moves them in. Going in first, that's Mr. Saunders. Florella Hanover's in second. The gate comes forward, it's open, and they're off and trotting. Florella Hanover breaks on the lead. Sharpshooter out in the middle of the racetrack goes for the early lead. And Emily's Pride is moving across the track in the first turn. But Sharpshooter has the lead in the turn. Emily's Pride is on the move. And Spunky Hanover is 4 horses wide in that first turn. As they go by the 8-mile pole, Emily's Pride is on top. Spunky Hanover moving up on the outside is now second. Sharpshooter is now third on the rail. Mix Hanover is fourth. Florella Hanover is off stride fifth now. As they go to the back stretch, Mr. Saunders is trotting up fifth. And Little Rocky is sixth as they go to the quarter in 29 seconds. Emily's Pride leading by a head on the outside. Spunky Hanover second. Sharpshooter is third. Mix Hanover is now fourth. Mr. Saunders is fifth. And Little Rocky goes off stride. As they move down the back stretch, Emily's Pride takes the lead now by a half a length. On the outside, that's Spunky Hanover second. Sharpshooter is third. Up on the outside comes Sandalwood with a rush. Now sixth, now fifth. At the half in 59 seconds. As they move to the turn, Emily's Pride still on the lead. Sharpshooter on the inside is second. Sandalwood on the outside is fifth. Mr. Saunders is now sixth. Gangawa is seventh. Florella Hanover is eighth as they come over to the 3-quarter mark. It's Emily's Pride on the lead still by a length. Sharpshooter is second. Mix Hanover moving on the outside is now third. Sandalwood on the outside is fourth. Mr. Saunders moving through on the inside is fifth. Spunky Hanover is sixth. Gangawa is seventh. McColby is now eighth. At the top of the stretch now, it's Emily's Pride leading the field by a length. As they move for that wire, Mr. Saunders is slipping through on the inside. Sharpshooter in the middle of the racetrack and Sandalwood. McColby goes for the rail, and right back there is Spunky Hanover, and here comes Gangawa. But up on the front end, it's Emily's Pride with the lead. It's Mr. Saunders on the inside second now. Sharpshooter is third, and Sandalwood finishes fourth. The margin is a length, and the time only 1/5 second off Hootman's 1947 record. The saliva test positively proved the filly's speed is her own. Emily's Pride has started 12 times this year before today and won 8 races. By Star's Pride out of Emily Scott, she is living proof of the late Charles W. Fellis breeding theory. After his death, she was sold to Castleton Farm and the Walnut Hall Farm. Gosh, I wish I owned her. It's that time, and out of the paddock they come. Are the experts right? Will this heat wind it up? The starting gate's moving forward. Emily's Pride is ready to go, and the gate springs open. Emily's Pride breaks out of there with a rush. McCovey's away well, so Sharpshooter, and he's going for the lead. Sharpshooter is taking the lead. Emily's Pride is second now. Mr. Saunders is third on the outside. Great Lowwater along the rail is nailed fourth. Mix Hanover is fifth. Record Matt on the outside, 4 horses wide, is sixth. As they go by the 8-mile pole, Sharpshooter has the lead. Emily's Pride is second. Mr. Saunders on the outside is third. Record Matt on the extreme outside is fourth. Great Lowwater is fifth. A quarter in 29 seconds. McCovey is sixth. Lumber Along is seventh. Gang Away is eighth. Mix Hanover is ninth. As they move into the back stretch now, Sharpshooter has that lead. And off stride goes Emily's Pride and Mr. Saunders. Record Matt racing up on the outside takes the lead now. Sharpshooter is right there second. McCovey is third. Great Lowwater along the rail is nailed fourth. Mix Hanover is fifth. Moving down the back stretch, Record Matt leads at the halfway mark fourth. Mix Hanover is fifth. Lumber Along is sixth. Little Rocky is seventh. Great Lowwater moving on the outside is now third. Lumber Along on the outside is now fifth. Over in the middle of the turn, it's Record Matt on the lead. Great is now fourth. McCovey is fifth. Mix Hanover is sixth. Little Rocky is still seventh in the far turn now. As they come to the 3/4 in 1:30 and 2/5, it's still on the lead. The same way Sharpshooter, Great Lowwater is moving through now. Little Rocky, 6 horses wide, is beginning to show flashes of speed, and watch him. As they come to the 8th, it's Great Lowwater. McCovey on the inside, but Little Rocky on the outside. He's now third, now second. Little Rocky is taking the lead. McCovey hanging on for second. Great Lowwater is third, and Mix Hanover fourth. Joey O'Brien guides Little Rocky back after about the biggest racing surprise of the year, a win in 2-2. Little Rocky didn't race last year, and his record was undistinguished before today. Almost not entered and last in the first heat, the Rock gets plenty of attention now. The victim of bad luck in close quarters on the backstretch, Sharpshooter finished on a flat tire, but it's fixed now, and Sharpie gets set for action. Marshal Sharon Grand leads them out. If Emily's Pride or Little Rocky wins this time, it's all over. They're rolling on stride. The gate springs open and they're up and lumbered along. Mix Hanover and McCovey race up to the first turn together. McCovey's on the inside. Mix Hanover's on the outside going for the lead. Little Rocky along the rail is third. Lumber Along on the outside is fourth. Record Matt on the outside is fifth. Between horses, sixth, Emily's Pride. And Great Lowwater is also in contention. On the front end now, it's Mix Hanover by a length. Lumber Along on the outside, second, but just ahead. McCovey is third at the quarter. 29 and 4/5. That's Record Matt ranging up on the outside now, second and going for the lead. Record Matt takes the lead now. Along the rail, Mix Hanover is second. Between horses, Lumber Along is now third. Emily's Pride on the outside going the overland route is now fourth. McCovey is fifth. Sandalwood on the outside is sixth. Little Rocky is seventh. Funky Hanover is eighth. Great Lowwater is ninth. Midway down the back stretch, on the lead, it's still Record Matt. Mix Hanover ranges up at the halfway mark in 59 and 3/5 to take over. It's Record Matt by a half a length now. As they move over to the far turn, Emily's Pride is moving up on the outside and is now third. Emily's Pride is now second. And here comes Sandalwood on the outside. Over in the far turn, Emily's Pride takes the lead from Mix Hanover. Record Matt is still along the rail. That's Sandalwood moving up on the outside and is now second. It's Emily's Pride on top. Sandalwood is now second. Here comes McCovey on the outside third. Mix Hanover is now fourth at the 3/4 mark in 1:29 and 3/5. Great Lowwater. Little Rocky looks for racing room and can't get out. At the top of the stretch, it's Emily's Pride on the lead. Sandalwood is second. McCovey is third. Great Lowwater is fourth, and that's Mr. Saunders moving in the middle of the racetrack, and he's now fourth. Here comes Little Rocky ranging up on the outside, but on the front end, it's Emily's Pride by a length. Sandalwood is still second. Mr. Saunders is hanging on gamely now, and Little Rocky finishes fourth. Only half a length, but a new Hambletonian record of 1:59 and 4/5 is posted. Emily's Pride came from post number 12 to circle the field in record figures a true champion. Ladies in waiting surround the new queen.
Illinois wears the crown with the jewel.
He's escorted to Victory Lane, where USDA President Walter Michael and Gene Hayes congratulate Driver Knight. Hail to the Queen.
Hambletonian, Hambletonian.
Visiting Governor James T. Blair of Missouri prepares to present the trophy. Pleased indeed are Driver Knight, Colonel and Mrs. H. Willis Nichols, Mr. and Mrs. Frederick Van Lennep, and trainer Fred Egan. It's a mighty proud driver who parades the fastest horse in the 33 years of Hambletonian history. So ends another glorious Hambletonian, and to Emily's Pride we say, well done.
Hambletonian, greatest race in all the land, the Hambletonian. 3-year-olds of great renown, one will win the classic crown, and the thrill through the Hambletonian.
Few doubt that the fastest field of 3-year-old trotters in the star-studded history of the Hambletonian is on hand in DuQuoin, Illinois, for the 35th presentation of this annual harness racing classic. A record DuQuoin crowd of 25,611 braved the summer temperature up in the 90s as 19 colts and fillies clashed for a purse of $144,590, a new high for the sport. It cost $1,500 as a starting fee for each horse. Hambletonian Day makes no difference in routine operations. But with $85,000 going to the winner, the blacksmith takes no chances. The shoes must be just right.
Where you see all the champs in flight, the greatest racing in the Middle West. Hambletonian.
Top fashion note of the day, a wet towel.
Greatest race in all the land, the Hambletonian.
A trotter along the rail and a pacer graphically demonstrate the two gates of harness racing. The trotter's left foreleg and right rear leg move forward together. Then the right front and the left rear. The pacer's two left legs move forward together, then the two right.
Hambletonian.
Pronto Don, 1951's Harness Horse of the Year, with 1958 Hambletonian winning driver Flick Knipe, lead the horses onto the track. Behind the Marine Coast Guard, and Pronto Don pulling Knipe in a high-wheeled sulky comes number 1, Blaze Hanover with driver Joey O'Brien. Elaine Rodney and Clint Hodgins, number 2. 3 is Tonya Hanover with Dana Irving. Uncle Sam is 4 with Lou Huber Jr. Mary Duke and Johnny Patterson, number 5. Number 6, Bolomon with John Simpson. Star Performer is 7 with Wayne Curly Smart. Quick Song, number 8, Frank Irvin. Low Hanover is number 9 with Del Miller. Then comes Mr. Pat with Dana Cameron, Demon Ross and owner Emil Schurler, Hickory Fire and Italian pilot Walter Baroncini, Mystery Song with Jimmy Hackett, Carlton and Ned Bauer, Hoot Frost with Jimmy Arthur, number 15, Dorsey Hanover and Levi Horner, Stanley Dancer drives number 17 in Haste, 18 is Lord Sampson with Harold Snodgrass, and Carleen Hanover, number 19 with Ralph Baldwin. All right, they move in behind the starting gate now. They're rearing to go. Blaze Hanover, and there's Elaine Rodney. Tonya Hanover is getting away. It's Tonya Hanover that breaks out on top, followed out by Uncle Sam and Elaine Rodney and Carlton. Blaze Hanover moves to the rail. As they go into that first turn, Star Performer also moving on the outside, as is Low Hanover. In the turn, Tonya Hanover has the lead along the rail. Uncle Sam moving on the outside takes the lead. Low Hanover is moving up. He's nailed 6. He's nailed 5th. Nailed 4. Carlton also on the move. He's second on the outside. Uncle Sam has the lead. Carlton now second on the outside. Tonya Hanover is 3rd. Low Hanover is 4th. Elaine Rodney is now 5th as they move down the back stretch. The quarter in 29 4/5. And Quick Song is moving up from the background. As they race down to the halfway mark, Carlton has the lead now. Low Hanover is right there second as they near the halfway mark. Uncle Sam is racing 3rd. Quick Song on the outside is 4th. Tonya Hanover is now 5th on the rail. Star Performer is 6th on the outside. Elaine Rodney is 7th. Blaze Hanover is racing 8th. as they near the halfway mark in the event. Going for the lead and getting the lead now on the outside, Low Hanover. Carlson is second at the half in 59 3/5. Low Hanover has the lead now by a half a length. Quick Song on the outside and Carlson on the rail. Race head and head for second. As they move over to the far turn, Low Hanover has the lead, and now Quick Song shows in front on the outside second by a net. Carlson is right there third. Uncle Sam is fourth now. And Tony Hanover is fifth. Star Performer is sixth. Blaze Hanover is back in there seventh. Elaine Rodney is eighth. As they move over into the far turn now, it's Low Hanover still on the lead. Quick Song is still second. Carlson is third, and Uncle Sam fourth. And the time was 1:30 to the 3/4. In the far turn, they fan out now. Quick Song, Low Hanover hunting racing room. Elaine Rodney is coming on the extreme outside. Blaze Hanover is dropping over on the rail, but Low Hanover has the lead now. It's Quick Song in the middle of the racetrack. Tony Hanover is trying to move on. Blaze Hanover, the horse on the rail, though, is coming on the strongest. It's Blaze Hanover coming for the wire. Elaine Rodney is right on the outside there second, and Quick Song winds up third. The time, 1:59 4/5, equals the Hambletonian record. Elaine Rodney was a nose back with Quick Song third. Grooms greet Blaze Hanover, and off he goes to the paddock. Red McPherson gives him the shower treatment. There are sights to see between heats. Last in the first heat, Barancini examines Victory Fire. Hayes Fair Acres hopeful Carlson gets ready. Gene and Don Hayes, track owners, are joined by publicity chief Frank Samuel. It's time for the second heat. Star Performer is the only scratch. Blaze Hanover with the rail. Elaine Rodney and Quick Song going away second and third. The gate springs open. Elaine Rodney breaks out of the gate, and Hoot Frost is away well this trip. Hoot Frost is going for the early lead. Tonya Hanover is also on the move in the turn. It's Hoot Frost on top. Tonya Hanover is second on the outside. Low Hanover is third. Carleen Hanover is fourth. Uncle Sam is 3 horses wide, and he's fifth at this point in the race. As they go to the quarter mark, it's Hoot Frost on the lead. Tonya Hanover is second on the outside. Low Hanover is nailed third. Uncle Sam is fourth on the outside. Carleen Hanover is fifth between horses. Elaine Rodney is sixth. The quarter time is 28 2/5 seconds. As they move into the back stretch, it's still Hoot Frost on the lead, but Tonya Hanover is the challenger as they near the halfway mark. And Carleen Hanover is between horses moving up on the outside. That's Low Hanover along the rail, and he's fourth. Elaine Rodney is fifth. As they move down the back stretch, Blaze Hanover, the first heat winner, is racing seventh. Quick Song is showing eighth. As they near the half, Tonya Hanover takes the lead by a net. Moving by the halfway mark, it's Tonya Hanover there in 57 3/5. Hoot Frost is right there second. Carleen Hanover on the outside is third. Low Hanover is now fourth. As they go to the far turn and the 3/4 mark, it's Hoot Frost getting the lead back. Tonya Hanover is still second. Low Hanover is moving up third, and Carleen Hanover is fourth. Still, Blaze Hanover has not made his bid. There's Elaine Rodney moving up fifth on the inside and a challenger for this second race. Around the turn they wheel. It's still Hoot Frost on the lead. Tonya Hanover is second. They've hit the 3/4 pole. 129 1/5. And Mary Duke begins to move on the extreme outside. Quick Song has slipped through on the inside and is now hunting racing room. Hoot Frost appears to be all through as Low Hanover is taking charge now. It's Low Hanover. Carleen Hanover is still in contention, and Quick Song is moving over on the inside rail. It's Quick Song and Low Hanover fighting it out. Carleen Hanover hanging on, and on the outside, Mary Duke. As they come for the wire, it's Quick Song and Low Hanover. 159 3/5, a Hambletonian record. Low Hanover was second, and Elaine Rodney third. All winners must pass the saliva test. Some days a feller just can't get going. If Quick Song or Blaze Hanover win the third heat, it's all over. Only 11 left for this one. All right, they move in behind the gate, getting ready for heat number 3. And the gate comes forward. The wings spring open, and they're off and trotting. Carleen Hanover in haste. Low Hanover and Elaine Rodney race into the first turn together. And Carleen Hanover appears to be in front. It's Carleen Hanover on top. In haste on the outside is challenging now for the lead. On the rail, Low Hanover is right there third. Elaine Rodney is fourth. As they go into the turn, on the lead, it's in haste now. Carleen Hanover is second. Low Hanover is third. Mary Duke up on the outside has raced up fourth. Elaine Rodney is fifth now. Quick Song is racing sixth. Blaze Hanover is seventh. As they hit the quarter in 29 seconds, it's in haste on the lead. Carleen Hanover is second. Mary Duke on the outside is third. Low Hanover is fourth by a length. Elaine Rodney is fifth. Quick Song is sixth. And on the extreme outside, Lord Sampson is seventh. Blaze Hanover is racing eighth. As they go down to the halfway mark, on the lead, it's in haste by a length. Carleen Hanover is still second. Low Hanover is third. Mary Duke is fourth. Elaine Rodney is fifth. On the rail, Quick Song is sixth. Lord Sampson seventh. The half in 59 3/5. In haste by a length. Carleen Hanover second by another length. Elaine Rodney on the outside is moving up third. Low Hanover is still fourth. As they go over to the turn now, on the lead, it's in haste by a length. On the outside, Elaine Rodney is second as they wheel to the three-quarters. And Carleen Hanover is third. Low Hanover is fourth. Mary Duke is fifth. Along the rail, Quick Song is racing sixth now. Tonya Hanover is seventh. Blaze Hanover is eighth. In the far turn, in haste at the three-quarters in 129 3/5. And Hoot Frost is now beginning to move at the top of the stretch. On the lead, it's still the same way in haste. Low Hanover is coming on, and Hoot Frost is going to come clear across. Watch Hoot Frost try to come. Blaze Hanover is on the extreme outside and beginning to move. Hoot Frost is forced to come all the way on the outside with Blaze Hanover. It's Blaze Hanover and Hoot Frost coming for that lead with Low Hanover right there, too. It's going to be Hoot Frost, Low Hanover second, and Blaze Hanover third. Equals the brand new record with Low Hanover second and Blaze Hanover third. No one goes home. The Hambletonian Queen and Princesses look pert and pretty despite the hot day as they await showdown heat number 4 with only Blaze Hanover, Quick Song, and Hoot Frost coming back. All right, they're all ready to go. Hoot Frost goes on an early break, but is back on stride as the gate gets ready to spring open for this, the fourth and decisive heat of the Hambletonian. Blaze Hanover is away first, Quick Song second, and Hoot Frost third. And not one person has left the grandstand or the bleacher area. They're all here waiting to see who's going to be crowned the champion this year in this, one of the most grueling and yet one of the most exciting Hambletonians of all time. Blaze Hanover on the front end is by Hootman, who won the historic race in 1947. And Hoot Frost, the number 3 horse in there, also is by Hootman. Frank Irvin's Mount Quick Song is by Victory Song, who finished second in the Hambletonian to Chestertown in 1946. So as they hit the quarter in 33 2/5, perhaps a son of Hootman will win it, or perhaps Victory Song, who finished second, will now have a son come on and be victorious in the Hambletonian. We haven't long to wait. They're nearing the halfway mark now, with Blaze Hanover on the front end by a length. Quick Song is second by another length, and Hoot Frost is racing third. They're nearing the half, and it's still Blaze Hanover on top. Quick Song second, and Hoot Frost is third. As they get to the halfway mark, the time, 1:08 1/5, with Blaze Hanover on top. Quick Song second, and still in their third, Hoot Frost. These colts will open up from the three-quarter pole in. Blaze Hanover, Quick Song, and Hoot Frost. Joe O'Brien on Blaze Hanover. And driving the second horse, Quick Song, is Frank Irvin. The third horse, Hoot Frost. Jimmy Arthur's the driver. As they wheel to the far turn, Blaze Hanover still leads by a length. Quick Song has been content to let him lead all the way, and Hoot Frost has been content to sit there third. Nobody has tried to challenge that leader as yet. It's still Blaze Hanover as they near the three-quarter mark, with Quick Song ready to open up now as they hit the three-quarters in 1:43. And now Quick Song is out to challenge. Blaze Hanover on the rail, 3 horses wide, comes Hoot Frost. It's going to be an exciting finish. It's Blaze Hanover, Quick Song, and Hoot Frost. Blaze Hanover is holding on to the lead, but Quick Song is getting closer now as they come for the wire. Blaze Hanover, Quick Song, and Hoot Frost is also coming on. It's Blaze Hanover and Quick Song in a blanket finish, with Blaze Hanover getting there first, Quick Song second, Hoot Frost on the extreme outside third. The time, 2:10 3/5. Blaze Hanover is surrounded in victory lane by a court of honor as owner Mrs. Saltcamp joined driver Joey O'Brien. Illinois Governor William G. Stratton prepares to present the trophy. And Gene Hayes adds his congratulations. Something for Blaze, too. The Hambletonian record was equaled, broken, and then equaled again, while the 4-heat mark also tumbled. This 1960 Hambletonian will never be forgotten.